Hi and welcome to this video where we bring you up to speed on all the latest news that affects you, the small business owner. So on this video today, I just wanted to bring you up to speed with the latest updates from HMRC with regard to the support available for small business. So obviously, normally this small business news would be all the latest little quirks and little things you could do, but at the minute we're dominated by the support for COVID. A lot of businesses in bad shape at the moment. And also, I've got to be said, to keep the positive going, there are some businesses that are in some really good shape as well, thanks to either the sector they're in or demand for their services. So it's good. I've also seen some amazing pivots with people. Even myself, I've been doing virtual personal training, which is a new one. So yeah, all people using all the skill sets they have, and Zoom shares on the way up for the amount of people that are using Zoom at the minute. So that's great. So let's get into it. The update at the weekend was really interesting in that we have for a while, and you can see on our YouTube videos, some discussion about this furlough. Just to quickly recap, if you're a limited company, you're not able to claim under the self-employed income support scheme. That's purely for how the taxman views a sole trader, a self-employed person, not a limited company director. So really you're stuck with being the option of being furloughed or universal credit. Furlough allows you to claim 80% of your normal salary back from the government. And again, there's a video on this, but in short, for most tax efficient directors, that might be worth under 600 quid a month to you, which isn't amazing. But if you're really going to go through a hard time and there is zero work, it is an option. And what they've said and they've clarified is that it is possible to file accounts and file tax returns and talk to your accountant and those kind of things that you have to do for statutory reasons, but you're not allowed to do anything that you would do normally to generate commercial revenue and activity. So basically, you're just not allowed to go about your daily job. You're not allowed to go doing sales calls, networking, quoting, anything that's actually providing services to or on behalf of the company. So if you are going to actually mothball is probably the best way to describe it. If you're going to mothball for a period, furlough's possible. And the other thing to bear in mind is that you have to do it for a minimum of 3 weeks every time you furlough. So you've really got to know that that's the best thing for you. What we've been saying a lot to business owners is have a look. Let's say this thing goes on for 3 months. Let's say it's £600 just freeze. That's £600, £1,200, £1,800 over those 3 months. Can you generate more than that by carrying on working? Or certainly, can you do enough activity that means you're going to generate that the other side of this? If you are, it's probably not worth furloughing for you. And of course, there are going to be HMRC compliance visits and inspections on anybody that's trying to pull a fast one on this. So it really is a case of using the appropriate discretion and making sure that if you want to furlough, you're doing it properly. And that includes making a note to yourself that you have furloughed. I know it's a bit odd, but they want you to record the decision. So a little meeting minutes that says on this date, whatever that date would be, you decided that you were going to furlough a director. So there's a few little small pieces to go with that, but you need some evidence that you made that decision. So that's important. For sure, just to make sure you're there, but you can do it. That's the main thing. Us accountants and professionals have had Martin Lewis, TV superstar, in the know, telling everybody it's possible, but as professionals it's very difficult to say yes, the celeb says it's okay, but now it finally is okay, and I think Martin Lewis has done a fantastic job with communicating as much as he can with what's out there. So that's there, and of course you've still got universal credit if you're stuck. That is a very busy line, but the system is working. There's a few quirks to that, and you will have to declare your furlough pay as that comes in on the universal credit claim. But for now, if you need money, that's the quickest way to get it for sure. So that was one of the big updates, and they've added some other small changes in there as well regarding your employees. So if you're an employer, they've mentioned about whether you can include overtime in the furlough pay and things like this. I still think it's slightly grey for some people actually, but they have put some clarity that you can rely on in there. So if you're an employer, definitely go and have a look at that again if you've got people on commissions or overtimes and that kind of stuff. Now, the other big announcement that happened in the week, and now the guidance has been updated, is with regards to the coronavirus business interruption loans. Now, I've spoke about this a lot. They've been very difficult to get. Banks have been difficult to get through to. The frontline staff haven't been particularly trained because it's all come around so quick. But what we have seen now is they've removed the option for having to provide a personal guarantee. So what was happening is these loans are available over 25,000, but they wanted a director to sign a personal guarantee that in the case that you defaulted, they could come after your house or whatever house you've got. Now, as you can imagine, that's not particularly attractive for a business owner that's a bit worried about his business right now. So under pressure, they have said, no, okay, under 250K, we're not going to ask for a personal guarantee. Over 250k, we're going to ask for guarantee, but only on 20% of the balance, which, if you imagine from the bank's point of view, is the bit that the government aren't guaranteeing. So that's a great success. They're also bringing on more lenders, and they've relaxed the criteria slightly. You effectively had to go through and not be offered a more expensive loan before you could get to this. So as a result, what was happening is you're having businesses just offered more expensive lending when really they could have benefited from the cheaper loan that's on offer. That's been removed now as well. So hopefully it's going to be a better time. I've not seen a client successfully do this yet, but I have seen out on the interwebs that people are getting them. So if you're interested in that, make sure to contact your accountant in good time. It's a commercial lend, so if you've never been through one of those, that's quite a involved process, and accountants are used to doing this, but you'll need cash flow projections and profit and losses and all this kind of stuff. So definitely check with them, and fingers crossed for you that now you've got the option for this cheap money if you need it. It is a loan though, it's not a grant, so you need to take that into account when you're doing your calculations. Now at this moment in time, they were the two major updates over the weekend. The guidance has all been updated, and if you're interested in the little micro details, we've put a lot of it at healandassociates.co.uk/COVID-19. It's a daily updated blog, so make sure you check it out there. And as a brief reminder, you've got another couple of things that are still helping you out right now if you're in business. That's a VAT deferral. Don't pay that until the end of March next year. You've also got a personal tax deferral, so if you were due to pay in July, you now don't have to until January, and I'd advise you getting your tax return in early so you can clear up any loose taxes as might be due or might not be due. At least you'll have an idea of whether you should have paid that July payment anyway, because that July payment's always based on the profits from the year before. And then finally, if you've got premises, you have the chance of a business rates grant. So if you're in the small business, if you've got a small property that has small business rates relief, generally a rateable value of under around 12 grand, then you should well be in for the possibility of getting a £10,000 grant to support you. Now, the way this works is automatic. You get a letter that's written to you from the local council to the ratepayer that's registered, and it tells you, inviting you to apply online. You put all your reference numbers in and go through the process. Now, locally, we have actually seen that people are getting these letters and they are applying. We've not seen anybody who's had cash hit their bank yet, but the process is there. So check your doormats. If you're going up to the premises every now and then to check it's all okay, just make sure you check your post. It is very dependent on your councils. I've seen it all over Facebook. Some councils have issued them, some haven't, but it is coming. Check that out. And of course, if you're in the retail, hospitality or leisure industry, there's a good chance already that you would have got your letter showing that you've got no rates to pay in this year. So yeah, check that out. So that's it for now. Keep up to date with us on all the channels: Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and you won't miss a thing. Stay safe, stay profitable, and we'll see you on the next one.